eventually they said, all right, you know what, we're not even going to write you a script, you just have to improvise half of it. And it took off from there. It was a wild success. Then he got his own show. And from there, he pretty much started improv as an actor and as we know it today. Like I was saying, in Aladdin, he walked into the studio and they had a full script of him, to sit down and record and everything. And he said, let me try something. 12 hours later, he came out with 40 different voices for the Genie of Aladdin, and not one thing taken off the script. And then they tried to give him an award for it, being the best original script, which was pretty much just Robin Williams. As a friend, he went to school with Christopher Reeves from Superman. He went to Juilliard with him, and they became really great friends through that. There's one quote about Christopher Reeves was in the hospital, got in a really bad accident, about 6 or 7 days into being in the hospital. Robin Williams walks in a gown, and there's a direct quote from Christopher Reeve. His quote, he announced, he came in wearing, a squatty man came in wearing a blue garb. He announced that he was a proctologist and had to examine me immediately, which is the first time he had left since the incident, end quote. And so that just goes to show, Robin Williams was always trying to cheer up his friends when they're in rough situations. He also made a call on a Reddit AMA, which y'all don't know what those are, you need to know. A Reddit AMA somebody was asking him about a rumor about him calling Steve Spielberg during the filming of Schindler's List. And he said, quote, I think I only called him once, maybe twice. I called him when I was representing People for the Waldheimers Association, a society devoted to help raise money to help older Germans who had forgotten everything before 1945. I remember him laughing and going, thank you, end quote. And that just goes to show, anytime he can, he was trying to bring some laughter to the occasion. There's a story of during Good Will Hunting, which is an amazing movie. During the set, they had a break where they were just, I think, taking lunch, and he ended up standing up on a table and doing one of his stand-up routines for about 25, 30 minutes. All of a sudden, there was 300 students all gathered around just watching him. So he was that kind of guy. And then as a loving father, his children, only have fond things to say about him. One of his sons, right after Robin had passed, and this was in CBS News article, said, quote, yesterday I lost my father and a best friend, and the world got a little grayer. I will carry his heart with me every day. I would ask those that loved him to remember him by saying, as being gentle, kind, and generous as he would be, seek to bring joy to the world as he saw. End quote. And that was from his son Zach. And it just goes to show you, there were a lot of messages from his family about how tight-knit they were, and how, because he was shared with the world, being an actor, they tried to keep the family life separate from everything else, as its own little thing, because that's all they had. So he was pretty much everywhere. And then also I thought it was funny how his daughter's name is Zelda, which I think is pretty funny, especially the way they ended up naming her, which he said, quote, it seemed only natural when my wife was pregnant, my son Zachary mentioned that Zelda would be the perfect name for his new little sister. Oh, there's some pictures. For my new little sister, and end quote. So he was saying that pretty much his son came up and was like, hey, Zelda, and they were like, perfect, because he is also an avid gamer himself. But in conclusion, Robin Williams was widely regarded as an outstanding actor, a loyal friend, and a loving father. I think my favorite movie of his is Good Will Hunting. So if y'all have not seen that, rent it tonight. You won't be disappointed. And one of my favorite quotes from him, that's him in Zelda. This was actually, surprisingly enough, the last tweet that he ever sent out was a Throwback Thursday on Zelda's birthday. So, that's, yeah, it's a little pixelated, but it's cool. And this quote, which he kind of looks like just like this guy. I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing is to end up with people